my comments about learning that Africans were the indigenous people here in the Americas. While there's certainly a lot of debate around this, I will say this. If you're looking for me to disparage other Black people, that's not who I am. That's not what I do. Your beliefs are your beliefs, and maybe you can call that some Aquarian energy or whatever, but that doesn't really affect me. I'm saying that because there's a large group of African Americans who consider themselves to be indigenous to the United States, saying that their ancestors were never enslaved and they were in fact the original people of the United States. I would say this. Let's open up the conversation and have a broader conversation about ancestry, right? And I am never going to diminish the history of the enslaved African in the United States by saying that they didn't exist, by saying that their stories were completely made up. Because if some of us took the time to speak to the elders in our family and to trace our lineage, the proof is in the pudding. It's right there. It's irrefutable. And when some people do this, not all, but when some people make these claims, it really does smack of them being embarrassed or ashamed of their ancestors' journey. And that's never me. That's like a rape victim being ashamed of being raped by a rapist. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You have nothing to feel shame about. It's the rapist that should feel shame. It's the perpetrator of the crime. And so that's where I stand on that. Now, that being said, there is a book that my family talked about all the time that was in my household by Ivan van Sertima. It was called They Came Before Columbus. So there were definitely signs that African people were traversing the Atlantic long before Europeans ever thought to do so. Just going on trade winds alone and building, there's evidence of pre-European African settlers throughout North America and South America. Argue with your mama. Do some research. I'm not here to argue with you. However, I am here to encourage you to do some damn research. That being said, everybody's ancestor was not indigenous to the United States, and there is no shame in that. We come from Africa.